we have the Custom 50 behind me, cabinet courtesy of Jack Lee Guitars, here locally about an hour south of Seoul. All right, let's check out this cabinet. Let's get right into it. And then I'll put tubes in it, and then we can fire it up. It's hard to get good lighting in here, but my pictures will be better. But yes, there is some purple tints going on here. There's also copper foil in the ventilation holes up there that will glow a little bit when the tubes are glowing. Yeah, this thing is looking absolutely stunning. The handle is very high quality. High watts are large, so this thing is a little bit bigger than I'm used to, but that's just because high watts are so big. Yeah, this is looking awesome. Oh shit. Well, it looks like taking the back off is going to be a little bit more work than I thought it would be. Do you see how he's got it set up where we have to get these screws off to get back there to put tubes in? Well, we will see here shortly if this is going to be easy to throw new tubes in or difficult. All right. Stay with me, people. I'm going to put new tubes in this amp. I guess this is just going to come right out. Let's see. Here is maybe one of a few moment of truths. All right, I've got the screws out. Now, will this back compartment just pop out, or did he glue it in? I don't think he glued it in, because he's looking at the tube sockets. I'm sure he knows I need to get back there, but let's see. Fingers crossed. Say a prayer for me. Say, grant us glorious tones. Amen. All right, let's see. Oh, didn't even pop off, came right off. This has a purple tint. Just a little grayish, a little purplish. It's cool. It's probably not getting picked up with the camera right now, but more nice quality photos to follow. Hang with us. Okay. Oh, I know what tubes these are. These are Siemens vintage EL34s from Carl Fusionbear. Carl Esperanza, as I call him. I won't give his real name out, but he's not secretive. He's easy to find. Carl Fusionbear. These came in an amp called the Millennium Falcon that he built for me. These are vintage Siemens, and so one of them has that guy. The other one, that guy had broken off when he sent it to me, before he sent it to me, but it still is up and running. You don't need that plastic tip. He has a place marked for where that groove is to get him in there. These are tubes that have been around with me for probably 5 years now, have yet to fail. Okay, got those in. Now, even though this is a low gain amp, it has 4 preamp tubes, 4 12AX7s. And I'm using, can we see the font? Yep. I'm using Mullard. New Mullards. This room does not have the best lighting. I can look through the vents to see how I need to stick these down. I wonder if Jack Lee Guitars was thinking about that. He was thinking, how is Grant going to put the preamp tubes back in this thing? He can look through the vents. That's right. Thank you, my man. Because one thing that I really don't like to do is take a perfectly good new valve and bend pins on it. Oh, no. I don't like that. Because once you start bending pins and moving them back and playing this game, nah. My confidence level goes way down. I just remembered something. So these tube retainers that have springs on them for the EL34s, underneath them, I like to put one of these tabs like that. So, what are these? Latex or something? Something that has, they can't burn up. I like to put this on there to reduce like vibrations, and real simple. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. Okay. I'm going to leave the back off of it. Can we even see this thing? Let me see if I can flip to different light. Are the colors coming up at all? Can you guys see like purples? There's some really amazing colors on this side. Some of the walnut, some of the brown comes through. And yeah, there's this copper tape in there. It's going to be glowing here in a little bit. You know what? I will put the back on because I want to maximize whatever idea he had about the copper tape glowing. Look at that. We're talking heirloom stuff here, guys. I'm sorry that I don't have the proper lighting to show this off, but it's some gray and some purple on walnut, and it looks awesome. Wow. And it just fits like a glove. There's nothing holding it in. I just put it on a shelf and it just is perfectly there. Huh. Wow. Attention to detail. Amazing. I was worried that this would be something where I couldn't put the screws in and out too many times because I would damage something. But I see now, no, I can put these in and out a lot. It's back on. Do you see that joint? Like, pretty awesome. I don't know what you guys can see. This is pretty friggin' awesome. Yeah, what's up, Riley? What's up, beautiful? Yeah, get the whole village in here. I'm gonna fire this up. Ring the bells. Let the whole village know. Impedance selector switches. I do not like impedance selector switches. We would be a lot better off if on the back of the amp it had a dedicated 8 ohm place to stick your cord, 16 ohm place to stick your cord. Impedance selector switches, man. I know that if I stick this impedance selector switch in the middle, it'll be 8. And whether the cab I plug it into is 4, 8, or 16, I'll be okay. But this thing is not just like tight and clicking like 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 16. This thing is kind of, I guess I got to tighten it right now. You know what, to tighten it, I'm going to have to get in there. It's going to be super awkward with a little screwdriver. Nah, screw that. I know that all the way to the left is 4, middle 8, 16. Whether that's happening on down here on this side of the dial where it should be, or over here for 8, 16, that's beyond my care right now. I'm hearing 3 clicks. I'm going to set it in the middle. We're going to be good. To those in the chat, on the back of the amp, this is interesting. I'm seeing 2 extra 1/4 inch outs. And I'm wondering if those go to nothing because this amp was supposed to be fixed bias, but we didn't make it fixed bias. And I just have these 2 1/4 inch that might, if I was to make them fixed bias, maybe they would be able to put a screwdriver in there and do bias stuff. I have 2 that I know are speaker outs. There's another 2 places to plug in that I don't know what they are. So any of you brilliant amp gurus in the chat, maybe Chris Benson, maybe Tracy Guns, maybe you guys can help us out with this. What are those 2 extra inputs on the back of this amp? Okay, I jumpered the normal and brilliant channels. I'm going to turn on my effects. You know what? Let's do a quick rundown of what I've got on the board right now. Okay, here is the board. So it starts with Phase 95. It's got some versatility with the script, the Phase 45, the Phase 95. That's why it's there. The OCD copy by Warm Audio. It rocks. I still support full tone. There was a time that I reached out to full tone 10 years ago or so about a product idea that I was trying to launch with somebody, and he responded in an email with a lot of expletives and raking over the coals. But even though he was rude to me, I still supported his freedom of speech to do that, and I don't like the way that he went down. PC Electronic Spark, hey, I needed a boost for more dB, and I didn't want to support the lefty anti-American companies that I could have spent $200 on the same thing. I got this for like $50 new, and yeah, it's built by Chinese people in Uli Beringer's work camp, but whatever. And I don't support the big box UA pedals, but the single ones, the Orion Delay Evermore Reverb. I've also got the Heavenly Reverb. These little ones are awesome. The big ones you have to plug your cell phone into and do Bluetooth bullshit. You don't want that. You don't want that unless you have an iPhone that has a perfectly great connection to the UA pedal, but most people don't have the best phone to connect to those because everybody complains about the connection. All right. Let's just behold that for a moment before we flip it on. And when we flip it on, let's look at the copper tape up top. That was the cabinet designer's plan, was for this copper tape to be illuminated. Maybe I should turn this light off. All right. Will this blow up? Will it still work? Let's see. Let me turn off the light for a second. Well, there's tubes down there, but the idea of the copper sorry guys. There's not a lot of illumination from the tubes. No, that's looking good. That's a good photo. In real life, there's not much going on, but hey, it's a cool idea. And it probably does look better than if you didn't do it that way. Because if you didn't do it that way, there would be no, yeah, you know what, man? Good thinking. That's why you should sub to Jack Lee Guitars, guys. Look at that. If that didn't have copper tape, there would be no reflection there, and you would see nothing. That's all reflections from Siemens EL34s from a long time ago. Cool, dude. Okay. Now we're out of the shadows. Back. Man, the chat is quiet. I don't know if you even deserve me to play this guitar, to play this amp. I'm not sure if you deserve it. Like, what are we even doing here? I'm presenting this heirloom built by one of the skilledest craftsmen I've ever met. What time is it here? It's like 8:45 in the evening. Maybe 8:35. I don't know if you guys deserve this. Man, the wind is howling out there. Well, hey, thanks at least for checking in with me, beautiful Earth. I can't say that for everybody out there. turning off all the pedals. Guys, when you're tuning, tune up to the note so the string has the right tension. Don't tune down and stop. Always go down more and tune up to the note. Have you guys ever seen Brad Gillis play Sister Christian solo live? Where he's doing all... Have you ever seen that shit? I mean, it's one of the greatest guitar solos of all time. Don't get me wrong. No hate, only love. Let the player play, let the man cook. All right? But you got to see his dance moves when he's playing the Sister Christian solo. That is Brad Gillis from Night Ranger. Also, Ozzy for an album. Check him out, man. You would not believe his all his bullshit. It is funny as fuck, and he's done it every night for like 40 years. You got to check that out. This isn't a sound sample. I'm not gonna dishonor my relationship with YDNA by doing a sound sample on a cell phone. Nah. I use microphones. I've got a rack with some compressors. We're going to get to that later. This was to honor my relationship with Jack Lee Guitars, who you got to sub to. You got to sub to Jack Lee. In the description of this video, you'll see that I have a posse. Jack Lee's at the top of the list as far as I know. My guitar playing puts Henry Kaiser in his place. All right? Yeah, this is transcendental. This is out of the box. All right? But yeah. Henry, I'm the guitar player you wanted to be. Let's try that one more time. Give me some delay. How about that for a beginning? Tommy, no, I'm not doing ASMR, man. My guitar playing's transcendental, okay? This is new age, all right? So you don't need me to relax you with little whispering and little noises. All the noises you're going to hear are coming out of this beautiful amplifier courtesy of Jack Lee Guitars and YDNA. Thank you very much. I kind of kaisered that last little bit. Give me another chance. Whoop. Like and subscribe. Uh-oh, there goes a light. Okay. Tune in for more photography of this thing. It is awesome. It's not getting any justice right now. Let's talk guitar for a little bit. All right, who's still with me? Okay, so how does it sound in the room? Well, it's as good as clean gets from my own experience. I also love the sound of a Super Reverb 410. Problem with that is I'm buying the reissue, and yeah, it sounds really good, mostly because of that cabinet, you know. But if something goes wrong, and also, okay, so gear, tone inspires you. Absolutely, tone inspires you. What else can inspire you? Well, there's a war going on right now. Um, and something that should inspire a guitar player is knowing that the gear is made to a higher standard of quality by somebody who cares about this and loves it and isn't an automaton at the factory just, you know, banging out the product. It's important to know that this was made by somebody in your shoes who's been thrust into this world of um, having to buy and sell and trash and buy and buy and buy all this stuff to find your own voice as an artist. Okay, so it sounds great, looks great. The origin of the amp, but then again, I didn't use the parts that came from Mojo. So, you know, I bought my own stuff aftermarket. There's no bathtub resistors. Um, I used some of the stuff. I think I used some diodes from Mojo for phase inverter. Um, I used some things, but the caps, I didn't use their Mojo Dijon. I did not pass the Grey Poupon from my Rolls Royce. No, I did not use the Mojo Dijon. I bought actual caps. Didn't get synergies. Who did I get? I'd have to open it up. But Mallory or better. I don't think I got Mallory. Um, so yeah, I mean, with the amp, do you feel good about the amp as far as it inspiring you because it's built to a good standard? That's important too, right? That's very important. So the cabinet, you saw that, man. There are perks to living in Korea. If this was the United States, that would not have been possible. Um, there are also perks to just being lucky enough to meet somebody with that sort of talent. You know how I met that guy? That guy, as in the legend Jack Lee Guitars himself. Um, I met him because he was selling something on Facebook Marketplace, selling a guitar case. And I just thought, you know what? This guy's not in the U.S. Army. This guy is not the average guy I'm dealing with. He's selling a nice guitar case, not just like something typical. And he typed a good write up. What does this guy know? Who is this guy about? And he'll tell you. I don't. I haven't brought this up before with him, but he'll tell you. When I went and bought that guitar case, I told him straight up. I said, shook his hand. I said, "Hey, I'm glad I got to speak with you for a second here. I'm not buying this guitar case because I needed a guitar case. I'm buying this guitar case because I'm looking for who you are. And I found somebody in him. Absolutely. I hit the jackpot meeting him. And I welcome comments and criticisms about how I may be using his talent. I welcome comment and criticism about how I may be using the talents of YDNA. Bring it on. My question to you is, why aren't you a customer yet? Like, this is kind of weird. So, okay, you can go buy an American Strat for $1,500, for $1,700. Do you know that there's people who have just got out of Gallup guitar luthier school who, if they make a guitar from scratch, they're not putting together like a Warmoth neck and body. They make a guitar from scratch. Because they don't have a brand, they can't fucking sell it. Okay? So they'll put something together. They'll spend maybe $1,000 on it. So how do you price something that you spend $1,000 on? Wood, hardware. If you spend $1,000, you're gonna want $2,500, $3,000. Well, because people are so motivated by brands, that guy who is super talented, who just went to Gallup Guitar School, he can't sell that for $2,500, $3,000 because nobody wants to buy the better purse than Gucci. They want the Gucci. They'll even spend more on the Gucci than the better purse than Gucci. Right? All right. So you might want to just hit people up that just went to Gallup Guitar School and say, hey man, here's $1,700. Can you make me a Strat? Okay. Is that using the person from Gallup? It's not. They need income. They need projects. Give them something to work with. Give them something to work with. And if they graduate from Gallup and they think, oh, I'll be able to offer a telly and a Strat, both for $3,500 because I'm a custom luthier. Well, okay. How many customers are you going to have, man? Right? So if you can find skilled people who, because people are so consumer brained, looking for the label, looking for the brand, you can find skilled people who are putting out an amplifier, who are putting out a guitar. Hit them up. Seriously, hit them up. And it will reward you. That thing, yeah. The Driftwood Purple Nightmare. Sorry, man. I got one better. Not to offend anyone, but the Custom 400. Sorry, man. There's a new kid in town. It's the Custom 50. All right, let's see if we can get a shot of this again. It's really hard to pick up what this looks like. There's probably no way you guys can see that, but this is looking badass. It's amazing. And yeah, this side of it has some wood figuring where the colors change and it just looks fabulous. It looks like polished marble. Absolutely. Thanks for saying that. Yeah. Luckily enough, man, I'm in a place where, and after I get that Marshall back, which I'm about to get back, I've got more guitar work for this talented luthier. Talented luthier, the same guy that did the cab, Jack Lee Guitars. I'm going to drop 3 guitars off with him. New nuts, refrets, the whole 9 yards. Vintage guitars, guitars that are 40 years old, 80s super strats. Not so much cosmetic, but some finish stuff. Yep. There's some like weird shit going on. Like, check this out. Like, there's like glue or some adhesives and shit back here and some scratches. Bro, I'm gonna have him do. And then like the pickups, it's like this pickup, the top of it is sticking out too much. It's like instead of being level, you know, and like the screws, I put new screws in earlier, but they're not the right ones. It should be flush with the plastic. Different stuff. The stuff that I showed you is just like guitar OCD stuff. But Bro, if you find a luthier that's really talented and you've got guitars that you like, that you're like, this inspires me, this thing sounds good, it inspires me, you can pay the luthier instead of going out and being like, okay, I'm going to buy a $3,000 Shure, I'm going to buy a Collings for $5,000. If something inspires you, you put the aftermarket pickups in it. That's what you can do. You can do some electronics little stuff. You can polish the frets, you can new strings, so on and so forth. But the guitar luthier guys, if you got something that's good, they can bring it up a notch, maybe 2 or 3 notches. All right? And I'm very lucky to live in a place where frets in America, everybody's like, oh, yeah, $500. Whether they know how to do a good job or not. $500. What do you think about that? I don't think the people that are like, yeah, I'm not so great at this, $250. They're not saying that. I think everybody's like $375, $450, $500. Depending on the level of quality you get, you have no idea. Unless you know. And I'll tell you, my Super Strats, I was playing them earlier today. My Super Strats from the 80s. All right. Here's a $2,700 guitar. 27? I didn't pay that. I traded up like the little Indian kid in the videos. Seriously. Like, he gets the wrapper from a little piece of bubble gum. Then all of a sudden he's got a transistor radio that's broken, and all of a sudden he's got a tire from a car, and then all of a sudden he's got like a car that doesn't work. Then next thing you know, he's a millionaire. That's how I got this guitar. All right. But it wasn't like the Indian kid. I got this guitar because I bought 2 guitars 7 years ago from an up and coming luthier. And they've both passed out of my hands. And I got them for a third or a fourth of what they're worth. And you can too. Hey, you can buy from boutique amp distribution. You can buy from any of the big guitar companies. Or you can look for people on the way up, and you can try to support people that are trying to do their craft. They're trying to work their magic. You might be able to get $4,000 out of $1,500. And I know this, you're not going to be able to get like heirloom quality, nothing out of the big companies. because they do all fast work. They do fast work. So if you want something that is good enough to pass on, you're not going to get it from the big companies. Thank you for watching, but hey, you guys need to comment and give me some questions in the chat. Or else I'm going to leave your asses. All right, how do I field this? How do I field this one? How do I talk about this one? Okay, what I'll say to you, man, is, I mean, all due respect. All due respect. No, I will speak on this. I'll say, all due respect, I've seen you play. You're badass. I got you. But being disappointed with your last purchase, that's with a relationship that fell out. If there were problems with the purchase, with the product, it could have got sorted out if the relationship thing hadn't fallen through. So, and the relationship thing falling through, that sucks, man. But as far as the product goes, it would have gotten sorted out if you guys didn't have a falling out. And if there's a lot of noise involved with what you're hearing, and the thing still works, it might just be tubes, man. But yeah, the next thing I'll get the Marshall back from Jack Lee Guitars, and then I'm going to hit him up with these Super Strats from the 80s that are, at this point, vintage guitars. You know, do you see a little Joe Satriani Silver Surfer here? Ibanez inspiration. Here's probably a 1983 guitar. Do you see a little PRS Custom 22 going on here? Yeah. And they're the cheapest guitars I've ever bought. And they inspire me. And I've had refrets here in Korea on both of those. I've got two others. Yeah, the Area Pros from Japan. And I've got mostly DiMarzios, but I've got a couple, like, I've got a WCR or whatever. I've got a couple expensive pickups in these. The refrets that I got, they were before I met Jack Lee Guitars. They were with somebody that is not, well, I can't complain. They are Fender vintage refrets, okay? They're tiny little frets. And I'll tell you what I told the dude is give me Fender vintage size frets, stainless steel, all right? What I got was good quality, composition, like Jesker. Out here it's called, I forget what it's called, Black Yak or something, fret company. Good quality fret composition, vintage Fender size. But vintage Fender size is only good if you got stainless steel. You heard it here first. Vintage Fender size works. And these, the radius is like 8.5 on these. Vintage Fender radius and fret size work if you have stainless steel. If you have stainless steel, the little ones work just fine. Thin and tall, best frets. If you have crap material making those best frets, then it's good. If you're using tin can material to make your thin and tall frets, then it's good. You don't need thin and tall. You need either vintage Fender size or something like Fender American Standard medium jumbo. What's used on Anderson guitars is like medium jumbo. Jesker makes a big difference. They use something that's okay on these, but it's vintage Fender size. And because it's not stainless steel, it's just too hard to play. I have one that is stainless steel, an Area from the 80s that I had a stainless steel fret job on, and that is effortless. So even though this is like a 2-year-old fret job, and this is like a 2-year-old fret job, they're vintage Fender sized, and it's not stainless fucking steel like I asked for. So if you have stainless steel, you don't need a lot more than vintage Fender. Vintage Fender might work out just fine with stainless steel. But if you don't have stainless steel and it's vintage Fender, nah, no, it's not fun to play. It doesn't feel amazing underneath your fingers, not at all. Okay, Riley, check out this picture halfway down the page. If I was to click that link, man, I don't think that I would be with you right now. I would take a detour that was either temporary or permanent. Isn't that cool how in '83 they also did the back of the neck like that? I think this is a custom 22 PRS inspiration. The weak point of these guitars is the pointed horn. What is going on with that pointed horn? There's not a good place to put a screw in for a strap lock. Besides that, it's awesome. Oh, Riley. Riley is the fret master. He says, if my tang width is off, I won't be able to use certain frets. Well, thankfully, I've got Jack Lee to figure that all out for me. I'm not going to do it myself, man. And I shared Jack Lee's email with you. So if you want to pass along genius info with him, be my guest. If you hit him up, he'd respond to you. And yeah, he's, I mean, as all guitar luthiers and repairmen go, he doesn't want people, he doesn't want the customers to come in there and just like sit on his couch and be like, oh yeah, he's my friend. Jack's my friend. No, like, you got to do business. And all the musicians are like, oh yeah, this is my tech. He's my friend. Nah, you got to do business, man. Don't waste these motherfuckers' time. You gotta, it's really hard to make any money in that line of work. So yeah. Everybody wants to hang out with the guitar repair guy, the amp repair guy. Nah. If you got a good amp repair guy or a guitar repair guy, let him cook. When he's done, give him the money, take your shit, get out of there. Don't waste his time. Well, look, guys, you're not asking me any questions. There's been a good amount of people in here, but I'm not going to cast pearls before swine. Like and subscribe, interact. I would gladly take on different topics if you guys put them out there, but you're not. So, seems like I gotta go. Keep your eyes out for more photos of that thing. Damn. YDNA, thank you for the Bastard. Or the Bastard classes. Thank you. I'll never forget that, even if you did delete it off of YouTube. Hey, remember, it inspired a whole new amp brand to come to life. Tracy Amps. And it inspired Mojitone to, totally change their documentation about the British 50. So we did something there. And then I got to say thank you, Jack Lee Guitars. Man, you knocked it out of the park. If I could compare it to, let's see, the Custom 400 or the Driftwood Purple Nightmare, nah, that's better. Yeah. We hit a home run with that one. Damn. Thank you. And please, to the audience, to the viewers now, the viewers later, vote with your dollars. Spend your money in a way that it will honor, I don't know, craftsmanship, heirloom products, products that can be fixable. Think about all that. All right.